This meditation is designed for those hot, restless nights where the body feels uncomfortable, the room feels too warm, and the mind starts getting frustrated because sleep feels further away than it should. So when you're ready, find a comfortable position, either sitting cross-legged on the floor, resting back in a comfy chair, or even lying down if that feels more comfortable. There's no correct posture or position, just settle somewhere you're able to relax for the next few minutes. Keep your eyes open for now and take a deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And at the end of the next exhale, gently close your eyes and begin to notice the physical points of contact between your body and the surface beneath you. Notice your back against the chair or mattress, your feet on the floor, or your hands resting comfortably at your side. There's nothing you need to change or adjust. Just take a few seconds to notice how it feels to be supported. Coping with intense heat often feels like a constant battle. A sense of heaviness in the air, or a restless feeling in the body, or even a feeling of dread that sits in the background of everything you do. And sometimes the mind starts to fight the temperature before the body can even begin to adapt. We tense against it, wishing it were different, or anticipating how uncomfortable we might feel later on. So for now, we're not trying to change the temperature of the room or fix the humidity around you. We're just simply noticing how the body feels in this moment as we rest here. Begin by noticing the temperature of the air in the space around you as it comes into contact with your skin. Perhaps you notice a sense of warmth or a stillness in the room, or maybe a slight stickiness or pressure. And whatever you notice appearing is allowed to be here. We're just letting the body exist alongside the warmth, without friction and without judgment. And now gradually bring your attention to the raw sensation of the breath, allowing it to come and go in its own time. If the breath feels warm, that's fine. And if it feels shallow or uneven, that's fine too. Just rest here for a few moments as you hold your attention on the natural rhythm of your breath. If thoughts arise, complaining about the heat or feeling frustrated or worrying about being uncomfortable. Just notice them as thoughts, allowing them to pass as you guide your attention back to the breath. You don't need to solve anything in this moment, and you don't need to engage with these thoughts. The discomfort we feel in this heat is often multiplied by our resistance to it. The mental effort of wishing it would drop a few degrees or bracing against the warm air. So instead of pushing yourself to feel perfectly cool, see if you can allow yourself to simply pause and sit with the warmth without frustration. And now we're going to use a simple visualization technique, not to magically change the weather outside, but just to simply help the nervous system settle and find some relief. So if it feels comfortable, I'd like you to imagine that you're standing inside a large, air-conditioned room. The image doesn't have to be dramatic or vivid in detail. Just that general sense of stepping into a space that feels cool and comfortable. Perhaps you can imagine the floors are made of smooth, cool stone, and there's a gentle, refreshing breeze moving through the air. And instead of trying to force your body to cool down, just imagine allowing yourself to simply stand here and inhabit this space. And just take a moment to notice what it's like to stand here. Your body supported, and the air around you feeling lighter and comfortable against your skin. The warmth outside can keep existing, but you don't need to stand directly in its path. You can just let it move past in the background as you rest in this space. And notice what it feels like in your body when you're not gripping the discomfort so tightly. Perhaps the forehead softens slightly, or the tension in your neck or shoulders begins to release. Or perhaps nothing changes at all, and that's fine too. The heat doesn't have to disappear, but it can exist alongside a sense of space. And now imagine that instead of forcing yourself to feel different, you're simply allowing space around the warmth, around the heaviness, and around the physical discomfort. With each breath in, imagine a little more space. Not a lower temperature, but just more space for the body to breathe. Warmth can sit in that space without overwhelming you. And if frustrated thoughts arise, just notice these as passing mental events. They're understandable when it's hot, but they're not instructions you have to follow, and you can gently remind yourself that this heat won't last forever. And now gently return your attention to the breath. There's no urgency here, and no one asking anything from you in this moment. You don't need to feel perfectly refreshed, and you don't need to transform your environment. Just being here, resting in awareness, is enough. And before we finish, just notice what comes to mind without needing to force an answer. Have you been actively fighting the heat today, or have you allowed yourself to just slow down and move with it? Are you tensing or bracing against the heat? What expectations are you carrying right now about how productive or energetic you should be despite the temperature? And can you give yourself permission to just do less while the air is this heavy? And as you breathe, become aware of the space in which that feeling of heat is being carried. Not because the temperature has suddenly dropped, but simply because there's slightly less effort being applied in this moment and slightly less mental resistance. If thoughts arise or familiar feelings of restlessness begin to move through the mind, just notice them as thoughts appearing and disappearing in consciousness. You don't need to follow them or become entangled with them. You can simply allow them to move in the background as you rest your attention on the breath and the physical sensations in the body. And just take a moment to notice how you feel now, even if that shift is subtle. Now, before you open your eyes, gently reconnect with the body again, becoming aware of the contact between your body and the surface beneath you. The weight of your body being held by gravity without any effort on your part. And if it feels comfortable, begin to invite small movements back in, maybe in your fingers, or toes, or shoulders. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, bringing this sense of space and awareness with you. Thank you for practicing with me today, and if this helped you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss future sessions. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.